Okay, guys and gals, about 10 seconds of the obligatory disclaimer. If you want to read the whole thing, just pause the video. Okay, members only. Let's take a look at crude oil. These are the January 2022 contracts. Today is December 1st. So why are we looking at the monthly chart? Monthly chart. Why? Because it's the only thing we can look at. The daily chart's been seriously violated. Forget about it. Bottom has completely been dropped out. Weekly chart also been violated by a little bit. We'll look at it. We're going to look at it in a little bit in a moment here. So we'll look at the monthly chart first because it gives us at least some idea of where I think this baby's headed. Okay, the monthly 50 month is $57. Okay, we're at 66. Okay, the market has opened already for the new day, which here is Wednesday session has started, even though Thursday session has already started, even though it's Wednesday. Okay, so that's why you're seeing some trading going on. All right, so this is the candlestick right here for December. So do I think 57.02 is possible? Again, this is a slightly rising 50, so keep that in mind. So I think $60, $60 is possible, guys. Okay, just my opinion. This hasn't rolled over yet, but it's trying. Okay, forget about this. This is absolutely already telling us, watch out below. Okay, clearly November's taking the beat down. Look at that candlestick. My goodness, 20.5 range. In crude oil, that is absolutely monstrous. It's like this over here, which had a 29. Okay. So guys, here's my deal. Looking at the monthly chart here, the reason why I think we'll get to the 50, and I think we might even get below it, the 50 month, is because look where we're at here. Okay, look at this. Yeah, that's pandemic. No, that's not even pandemic. Sorry, that's 2018. This one's the pandemic, but this is 2018. And I've been saying it kind of off and on for a while that I have, it's different. It's got a little bit different behavior and character, but it kind of feels like 2018 to me. We may not get quite that significant price action, but it has a very similar feeling. Okay. Let me just scroll back here a little bit. Just based on the way this MACD is so elevated. Okay. Yeah. So I think the 50 month could be approached and might even be pierced. That's just kind of in the back of my mind. So it's the only chart right now that's above the 50. Okay. So that should tell you a lot. All right. And we're just going to see what this thing does. But I get this distinct feeling that we're going to go below, $60, and we could get into the 50s. Okay. I even think somewhere down in here is possible, like around $50. All right. But that's kind of out in the distance still a little bit, but we're going to keep an eye on this. Okay. But that instinctively, what I'm seeing on the crude oil is I think we could break through the 50-month moving average. So keep that on your radar. Okay. Let's look at the weekly. See, this right here is looking kind of tasty. Now, I know, could we get this kind of event where just, and then bounces back up? Yeah, it could definitely happen. But there's a big difference between this one and this one. And it should be obvious. This didn't touch the 50. This one has not only touched it, but it has gotten through it. Okay? Now, the weekly. Yeah, sorry if I said monthly. I meant weekly. But, these indicators do look a little bit bottomish. Okay? They do have a little bit of a bottom feel to them. So, we could get a bounce. It could happen. All right. That's just something to keep in mind. But this has pierced through the 50, at least somewhat on the weekly chart. Okay. Which is why I started with the monthly first. Okay. So I think $60. Okay. Very possible. What is the bottom of these two candlesticks right here? This one had $61 and that one had 61. They're both right around 61. This was 60, 61.74. This 61.80. Okay, so I think let's just say $62, probably very likely. Okay, just for kind of short term. Okay, let's look at the daily. This is just like, as one of my subscribers said today. Sorry, one of my premium members actually said this. You could drive an Evergreen freighter ship through there, because everybody's getting a hold of my Panama Canal and Suez Canal analogies and freighter ship. You could stick 10 semi trucks through there. Okay, in the world of MACD, that's just massive. All right, massive. So we can't really look at the daily to make any kind of trade. Let's look at the hourly. Now the hourly, you see that's why, guys and gals, for premium members, okay, because this video is only going out to premium members, new members, existing members, whoever you are, you need to always keep in mind multiple time frames: monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, and even 5-minute. Okay, if you're a working person, okay, then just keep it simple. Okay, try to pick a product that you think that looks good, especially if I put out a trade alert. Okay. And maybe I'll make this the crude oil trade alert. I'm not sure yet. I got to kind of look at this. I don't like to put out trade alerts just haphazardly and then kind of disappoint premium members. I don't like doing that. I want to make sure there's really a trade. So looking at the hourly chart, I get a sense there's a trade here. Okay, and the trade would be, do we get rejected off of the hourly? Because see how it got rejected here. We can consider this basically a rejection there. This is kind of a rejection there. Okay. This is definitely a rejection, but you just have to see what this does, okay? I get this feeling based on the way this is kind of pinching down that this might get above the 50. Just the way I see that this gap has gotten narrow and then disappeared completely. Okay, let me back off just a little bit here and take a look at this. See, that's huge. So, yeah. That's just huge. That gap in the MACD and the hourly is not to be ignored. So what? Boom, ram, boom, bam. Okay. But it might get above it before it does it. Okay. So I'm not 100% gun-ho on a trade alert, but I feel like that hourly chart might be good enough to reject and get a trade. Okay. Keep it in mind. So I think I will make this a trade alert. But please use proper risk management, which means stop losses, bare minimum. Okay? Don't leave your positions hanging. That's craziness. That's not trading. That's just absolute nuts. Don't do that nonsense. Especially for you people who don't know how to make profits or just aren't profitable. Be honest with yourself. If you're not a profitable person, you're taking a lot of losses, stop losses are going to be your best friend for a long time to come. As a matter of fact, stop losses are going to save you from a lot of heartache for the rest of your trading life. Okay? So get used to using them almost all the time. I want to go back to the daily and then we'll finish up with the 5-minute chart because I want to look at that. I want to look at that. What is this right here? 11:30. Now, for those that don't know what these are, especially new members, these are called cycle brackets or cycle analysis. And basically, whenever we see two green cycles come together here, there tends to be a price low. Okay, here's one that was a little late, came a little bit after. Okay, there tends to be a price low. Let me zoom out a little bit more here. This looks a little bit. Okay. Let me just look at this briefly. So it looks like these cycles were moved a little bit, okay? I adjusted these cycles because I saw something change. So I got to ask you all something. I mentioned this not that long ago, okay? This cycle right here ends at 11:30. This one. Talking about that one right there, okay? When was 11:30 on the chart? Right there's 11:30, guys. Did the price, did it not? Now we're going to zoom back in. Stay with me on this, especially new premium members. That's the middle of the cycle. Okay? Did the price not, from that point right there, start tracking down all the way to this cycle low? I mean, it's a no-brainer, right? It clearly tracked down to this cycle, right? Now, this is a pretty extreme event. Doesn't always mean we're going to break 50-day moving averages to get down to these cycle lows. But I want to make it clear to all premium members that we use a multitude of different indicators and strategies to help us trade. And psychoanalysis is just one of them. Okay? We make use of the MACD. We make use of the predictive Big Daddy forecaster. We make use of the stochastic momentum index. We make use of divergence dots. Okay, that's what you're getting for your premium membership, right? And this was absolutely spot on. Okay, so remember that moving forward. Okay, all right. So now we're going to go back over to the 5-minute chart and take one look at this. Okay, looks pretty healthy. 5-minute chart busted above. That's probably the open right there. Yeah, that's the open of the new day. Okay, that's 5 o'clock at night, my time here in Texas. All right. Now the 5-minute chart is above the 50. Just remember this 5-minute chart, so you're thinking of a 5-minute 50 chart. Can be a little confusing, right? Okay. So it's trading above it. But that hourly chart, trading below it. So you're gonna if you want to use the two together, okay, you know that the 5-minute chart is a little on the healthy side, right? It's trading above the 50 moving average, but the hourly is trading below it. So you're going to be a little patient here and wait to see what this bad boy does. Does it come up overnight and touch it and get rejected? Does it go a little bit above it and then try and get back below it? If it gets, and I talk about this all the time. Let's do this one more time. I'm going to finish up the video with this. Remember, we're on the hourly chart now. If it comes up and hits the 50 and then gets rejected and the second candlestick down is rejected, okay, that second candlestick really would start right there. You take the trade on that second candlestick. Okay? Second candlestick down, meaning the second candlestick starts where the previous one finished, going down. All right? That's how you would do it. It may happen way over here. I don't know when it's going to happen. Okay? If it gets above it and then gets rejected above it, because sometimes that'll happen, and starts trading down. As soon as it gets below, a full candlestick below, okay? So let me redo this scenario here. Okay? If it gets above it, whatever, gets above it, and let's say a candlestick comes down and half the candlestick is sitting on the 50, don't trade it. If the next one starts and it starts down here, you trade that one. Soon as that sucker opens, like the first quarter or third of it, trade it. Short side. If we get above it like this, and it starts getting some legs under it, okay, you might want to trade that second candlestick going up. Just be really careful because crude oil is on the beat down, man. I mean, you saw the other longer time frame charts, right? So if you're going to, we don't like to trade against the overall trend. Okay, we don't like trading against that. We don't want to be trading this way when everything's saying we're going down. Okay? Let me look at the weekly one more time. Okay? Everybody get that? All right. Weekly is a little bottom there, so you want to keep an eye on that weekly chart. See if it gets a continuation. So remember, we're going into Thursday. The Thursday session's already started, okay? So this is a weekly chart. So you just want to see what Friday does. What does this candlestick do? Does it grow a little bit? Does it contract and come back up and get smaller? If this candlestick on the weekly chart here contracts and gets smaller, then we could have reached a bottom and things could temporarily bounce or permanently bounce. Okay, but if this thing gets some more legs underneath it and starts expanding for the rest of the week, and let's say that lower wick right there disappears. Let's say that lower wick right there disappears. Come on. Stupid thing. If this lower wick disappears and gets just flush full of red, then we're talking about more opportunity to the downside. And with the MACD having that kind of action going on, guys, my instincts tell me any bounce will be short-lived. Any bounce will be short-lived. All right. I think you can trade the crude oil to the short side. Don't forget, you can, for those that have small accounts, the MCL. Okay? You can trade to the short side. All right? Watch the hourly chart. Please use proper risk management, bare minimum stop losses. If you're already profitable, guys, lock in those profits at the trailing stop. Okay? If you're scared and you're a new trader, you don't know how to do it, just take a little tiny one contract MCL. One little contract. And set up your stop loss and your trailing stop and tinker with it, okay? Or if you're on the TLS platform or whatever platform you're on, you might be able to do some paper trading. But I don't really like paper trade. You want to know why I don't like paper trade as I finish up this video? Because everybody just adds more money. And there's no pressure in paper trading. Because you can just reset the balance and start again. In the real world, we can't do that. Okay, so I advocate, if you want to learn risk management, guys, bare minimum stop losses, and as soon as that sucker turns decent profit, lock in the profits of trailing stop. And you'll consistently make money that way. You might not make big money, but I've said this so many times in the past, and I promise I'm going to finish the video with this. Learn how to be profitable with really small positions before you start going medium or big. Okay? That's it, guys. Talk to you all real soon again next time.